What's going on, everybody? Taco Shooter here with another episode of Let's Talk About It. Our featured guest this week is none other than the one and only Pathfinder Gaming. Welcome, Pathfinder. How you doing, buddy?
I'm doing well. How are you?
Man, if I was any better, there'd be 12 of me. The
Amen.
I'm super excited to have you here. Was hoping to have you here a couple weeks ago, and our schedules fell apart at the literally the very last minute. So I was super embarrassed. Because it was obviously we were supposed to start much earlier in the day that day, and things sort of went awry on my end. So I was late getting started, and by the time everybody was ready, you had to bounce out. So I really appreciate you coming back. Obviously, that all falls on me, and I mean, normally I would blame Rich, but Rich actually isn't here right now. So thank you so much. I appreciate you coming in. You've been a big member of our community for quite some time now. Got a really great presence on YouTube, where you make a lot of really amazing content, and then you've been doing a lot more streaming the last few months in particular. And so I hope that's doing well for you. But just to sort of get started, like, what made you decide to get into creating content? Because you started on YouTube, right?
Yeah, and it was very minimal stuff. So I actually had an alliance mate who had questions about certain characters. I think it was the first
Mm-hmm.
one was like Silver Surfers. This is how far back it dates at this point. But he had questions about how the kit worked and certain aspects of it. So I made like a 4-minute video just talking about Silver Surfer's kit, and I was like, oh, I don't know how to send this to him. So I was just like, I'll just post it on YouTube. And so I sent him the link, and then that got passed around in the cluster, and then everybody was like, oh, you should do this for other stuff. And it kind of snowballed into, okay, well, maybe if people want this, like I could put more out there. And so I started doing that, and then it built into like, well, maybe I could get a mic so it doesn't sound like I'm a robot all the time. and and then I think when I transitioned to using a camera, things really took a jump for me, I think, which is
Yeah.
really interesting to me. But I think that's when things kind of felt more real.
Well, yeah. So I gotta say, I'm always surprised anytime. So anytime that there's a content creator that doesn't use a camera, when they finally get a camera and turn it on, I'm always terrified because what happens if you just really like the listening to a content creator, but turns out you don't like looking at them. That's an awkward conversation to have. So it was nice to see your face, and to see that you weren't some super awkward looking dude. I feel like as one of our panel guests that we'll talk about later, I think your voice very much fits your face for multiple reasons that we won't get into right now. Um,
Yeah, I was terrified too to turn the camera on, by the way.
so the what type of content do you feel is your specialty? Like, what do you enjoy doing the most when it comes to content creation?
Man, what I enjoy doing the most is Cosmic Crucible,
Mhm.
specifically when I'm doing it live, because I try to involve chat as much as possible
Oh,
in my
that's
Cosmic
dangerous.
Crucible matches.
That's
It's
dangerous.
dangerous, but it
Yeah.
makes for a really good time.
Yeah.
So I've kind of found that I like winning, but I also want to try to include chat in that as well.
Yeah.
And we've kind of developed this moniker of never punished, because chat will do something and somehow it will still work even though it shouldn't work.
Yeah.
So it's been super fun to do that, but that's my favorite stuff to do. But I also just like making stuff that's going to help a lot of people. So graphics and guides are kind of where I like to live as well.
Yeah. You've been doing a lot of graphics and guides and whatnot with Benny Westside, right? Like, that's been your primary contributor.
Yeah, so he helped me make my first Blitz infographic,
Uh huh.
and then we've done a few other things, and then I've kind of he's a super busy guy now, so
Yeah.
I'm trying to find my way into making my own stuff more now, and just when we have a project we want to work on, we do that. The other big one is Dark Dimension. We've done
Yeah.
the Dark Dimension graphics.
Yeah, yeah. No, the Dark Dimension graphics, I feel like that was probably when you really started getting noticed the most. The was it the DD4 graphic?
No, we
Was it DD?
started we started at DD5. It was like
Was it
April.
DD5? I
Yeah.
don't know why I thought it was DD4. Anywho, but yeah, so those graphics really, really, or not just graphics, but the content and whatnot for those really took off. Did a great job, and it's wonderful. But as far as the Cosmic Crucible, yeah, I mean, so I'm in the same boat. I absolutely love Cosmic Crucible. I got to do, one big battle with Dorky Dad where we were live and doing it. And I know you and Sticky are pretty close in the rankings in Cosmic Crucible. Have y'all been in the same bracket yet?
No, we haven't been in the same bracket yet. So, like notable people, a lot of people might know Juicy from chats.
Yeah.
So I've been in one bracket with him. We never got to face, and then I've specifically fought Jex, who creates content. I think specifically on YouTube now. He's had my number so far, but I have another shot at him this week.
Well, so you just got to be careful with chat. 'Cause, we talk about chat helping out, and chat's super super helpful sometimes, and then like I love Valley Flying. Hoping to get him on the show sometime, but I mean I don't know how many times I've watched his chat just walk him off the cliff when it comes to attacks in Crucible.
They have derailed that man many a time.
Oh God, just I don't know if it's like intentional or
Oh,
it's so entertaining. It's so entertaining. But
yeah.
yeah, so I can't wait to ask him about that in particular. Whenever we're able to get him on sometime. But yeah, so Cosmic Crucible, working with chat, it's a lot of fun, but it can go awry, and it can go awry quickly. Now, as far as Marvel Strike Force goes, so you've been content creating for a while, and you're a lot like me in a sense that you're one of the most positive streamers and content creators out there. Like, I don't think, as far as I know at least, you've never had a rage video. I don't know that you've ever had a rage moment. A lot of people confuse you for being Canadian just because you're so friendly and kind to everyone.
Yeah.
So
I think the only time I've made like a negative comment is just when they screw up something like an offer, and
Yeah.
it's like, and people that don't spend money or people that tend to not spend money like just fall further and further behind.
Yeah.
It's like, come on, can we at least get something right here? Like,
Yeah,
that's
and
usually when I get the most upset.
Yeah, and that's still a very nice way to put it. So, what as far as the state of the game of Marvel Strike Force, in your opinion, like where are you with Marvel Strike Force? Are you comfortable where it is? Like, are there things that you think just absolutely have to change? Just general state of the game. Where are you?
I feel good about it, but maybe I'm a little skewed because I'm just generally like in the realm of positivity towards things.
Yeah.
The one thing that I want to see change in 2023 is new player experience to get better. Right now, it's okay. I'm currently doing like a new account, but I'm finding that there's specific things that make it more difficult, specifically like farming ISOs for a new player. It takes a long time to get going in that sense. And so having all of the characters like at your disposal, and of course, like farming characters, when you can't get the full mutant raid team, there's
Yeah.
nothing that you can do other than farm other mutants or wait. So I would like to see that get a little bit better because the game will die if new players don't have a good time.
Yeah. Well, so talking about the, really wanting to retain new players in the game, one thing in particular that our game doesn't have, there's not really a content creator out, at least to the best of my knowledge, for that new player experience. I feel like a lot of it's nothing against any of the other content creators, but you look at myself, you look at Heartgrave, you look at Rim and Mobile Gamer and Valley and all of these really amazing content creators, and the I don't. Okay, maybe I'm not amazing, but everybody else is amazing. You look at these content creators, and they can't relate to that new player experience. Like, I don't think any of them are doing a new account these days. I know Boylon was doing it for a while, but even he got rid of his second account because it just got to be too much. So, is that something you're wanting to do? Something to find a way to create that content? Because honestly, I think content creation, looking at it from a new player's perspective, would be extremely successful and really help with the overall longevity and growth of the game.
Yeah, so like I said, I have a mini account and I've done some videos on it. The issue is, like what you said, is time.
Yeah.
And the amount of content that you know very well, that new content is constantly coming to the
Yeah.
game. And so just trying to keep up with that on like my main account and for in-game players
Yeah.
takes a lot. So I'm trying to fit in more of the new player stuff, and I would like to get better at doing that, because on my Discord I actually have a lot of new players asking questions. And so I find it helpful for me to at least know what they're talking about because
Yeah.
I'm doing it, but it's harder to make the videos and make the content for it. So that would definitely be something I would like to do more of.
Okay. Yeah, that's fantastic. Well, so the last thing I want to talk to you about is probably basically I'm just looking to get a public acceptance of you volunteering to help me with an item that I've been working on for quite a while. So about this time last year, I put together, with the help of Nietzsche and RichOnShips, a player guide that has turned into a monstrosity. It is such a large, overwhelming thing, and Nietzsche's sort of stepped back from the game some, and Rich, his work, he's super available for 2 weeks and then not available for 2 months, and we say when he goes to jail, but that's mostly a gag. He's only gone to jail a couple times. The guide itself is just a great tool. It's a living document that's constantly trying to update, and I would really like to get more content creators involved with helping to sort of keep it up to date. So I'm looking for your public commitment to assisting with this right here, right now. So can I get a yes?
I would love to help, absolutely.
Let's go. All right. So we're gonna head on over to our panel discussion now. Hopefully Athame and everyone is ready. And here we go, guys. Another amazing transition. LFG. Because I can't curse. This is going on YouTube. I'm not allowed to curse. I tried.
I need to get the beep ready so I can
All right.
myself.
All right, what is going on, everybody? Welcome back to Let's Talk About It. Our panel discussion this afternoon is going to be about one or two topics. First topic we're going to be discussing is top 2 to 3 teams that you enjoy playing with the most. Excuse me. That was thank God I don't edit this and I just put it right out with me burping. So top 2 to 3 teams that you enjoy playing with the most. Our guests for this panel are, of course, none other than Pathfinder Gaming. Continuing on with the conversation, my brother from another mother that we, sort of. What in the Jesus? Really, Rich?
My camera was fine up until you introduced me.
But my brother from another mother, the redheaded stepchild of our family, RichOnShips. An alliance mate, good friend, Bear, joining us for the first time ever. What's going on, Bear? And of course, none other than Athame himself. That's right. He looks exactly like he sounds. So thank you for joining us, everybody. All right. So we've got Athame with us. We've got Bear with us. We've got again Pathfinder Gaming and RichOnShips. And again, we're going to be talking about the top 2 to 3 teams that you enjoy playing with the most. I'm super excited about this. Let's kick it off. Let's kick it off with Athame. So Athame, when you're looking at the teams that you enjoy playing with the most, what's the one that you just have the most fun with?
Darkhold.
Darkhold. Why is Darkhold such a good time for you?
So I really like the way the kit plays out.
Mm-hmm.
You know, I've always been someone that, when it comes to fantasies, enjoyed more like the magic side of things.
Yeah.
So getting a full team of sorcerers just along, you know, the way that it actually plays, but the feel of the team, the look of the team just kind of came all together.
Yeah, and in particular, like Morgan Le Fay's like your favorite comic book character, right? Like that just happened to sort of all
It
coincide.
just happened to fall into my lap.
Yeah, so just happened
like,
to
oh,
be
nice.
your favorite character is the most ridiculously overpowered character in the game. Very 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 fun coincidence. So what would you say rounds out your top 3? What do you have for 2 or 3?
Wakanda and Infinity Watch.
Oh, Wakanda. Yeah. So Wakanda, that's a good time.
Wakanda's fun when it works.
Yeah. So when Black
Like
Panther when
Black
he just
Panther
starts
starts
deleting
going off,
people.
yeah, it's super satisfying.
Yeah. Yeah. It's
You
just
just
like
watch him
it's
start
just like
ripping
a
people
fresh
apart.
explosion of joy that, that's as distinctly as I can describe
Gore and
that.
blood gets gore.
Yeah, absolutely. But
It
Infinity
gets
Watch.
very graphic.
So I'm curious about the Infinity Watch one because while I enjoy Infinity Watch, the one thing I've always sort of disliked about Infinity Watch is they're sort of a messy team to play with. Like, it just sort of I don't know. I mean, I guess there's fun that you have to sort of play every team a little bit different. You know, you don't always start with a ult or maybe it'll be a special, maybe it'll be a basic. Like what makes it so enjoyable for you?
It's part of that dynamic of knowing that certain matches are more doable depending on
Yeah.
how you play the team.
Okay.
Like there are even just with Nebula, you have to make a conscious choice. Do I want counters? Do I want evades? Am I just gonna sit here and gain speed up for a turn? Maybe I don't do any of it.
Yeah.
Everything you do is a choice with that team. You can choose to cleanse with Phyla turn 1, or you can wait. You can rewind someone, or you can wait with Moondragon.
Yeah.
There. Even the way you build the team, like Adam Warlock can be a skirmisher or a striker, depending on what you're doing, what you're trying to accomplish. I found making him a skirmisher made Heroes for Hire that much more manageable for me way back in the day.
Yeah. Yeah, absolutely.
Like, it is still such a long-standing team.
Yeah. Yeah, no, they've held up well. They've definitely held up super, super well. Rich, what about you? Top 3 teams. Starting off, of course, with number 1.
Yeah, no. So for the team that I enjoy playing with the most, and I'm kind of mad they're not good everywhere, is the Underworld team.
Yeah.
They're just everything about every time I use them. I'm sad that I can only use them 3 times a week, but you just start off and it's just like this explosion of just everything, like minions and all the counter attacks that are going on. It's like kind of going to a casino and seeing a slot machine and you win the little jackpot and it goes ding 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 and everything starts going off. Yeah. I get a little smile on my face every time I just wipe somebody out with it.
Naturally, we make a like with the gambling with Underworld.
Yeah. Oh my God. Let me tell you, like the first time that I watched Morgan Le Fay just melt when I attacked Darkhold, I was just mouth hit the floor. I was like, oh my God, this works.
And the funniest part is that they kill themselves because it all counters.
Yes. So I don't know. It's but at the same time, like if it was on defense, you wouldn't get to see it. So like being able to see it, there's just a level of joy. It's sort of like watching a movie unfold. Like you do the first like 3 attacks, and then you just sort of hands off, watch everyone go away. It's fun. It's
My
fun.
thing
And
with him
now
on defense that was a nightmare.
so now at
Oh,
this point though, so everybody should have Mr. Negative unlocked, right? Like he's been out long enough.
Yep.
And I know we're not really talking about this, but I want to give a quick shout out to Scopely on this release method, because while it took way too long to happen, I love the idea of just a random free character release like twice a year or something. I think that's a great way to release characters. Not all of them, but and obviously don't take 2 months to do it. Like let the pay to win players buy it initially, and then 30 days later put it out there. But 2 months was way too long. Way too long.
What about
Yeah.
Spider Weaver?
I heard, I forget who it was. It was either you, Pathfinder, or it might have been Sticky, or somebody said it the other day in a stream where they're like, or it might have, I don't know who it was, but they were talking about how that team might be during the next season there might be like a Crucible bonus for that team or something like that, and I think it'd be super awesome because I love using them. So if I have the opportunity to use them more, I'd be
yeah. I mean, I think that would be a great idea. Yeah,
They're on the verge of dangerous already in Crucible.
Yeah.
So to give them a buff would be crazy.
Yeah.
Well, if they had a room, right?
Yeah.
So if
Yeah,
they were like
I like the idea though.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So what about what rounds out your top 3?
Number 2 would be the Tangled Undead.
I hate that team. I hate.
No.
I don't get me wrong. I love it. I love to use it, but it also it's the bane of my existence.
I don't put it on defense because I'm not a monster, but
yeah.
But I still I enjoy using it in war, and once again I wish I had more opportunity to use it, but just really fun dynamics, like the way the whole team, it's like if the other team does actually get a turn, like you just kind of like they miss everything and then you just go and just blow them the hell up, and it's beautiful.
I'm telling you, if we could get some type of community agreement across the board to permanently keep Tangled off of all defenses everywhere, I think the world would be a better place. They're fun to use offensively, but if they're on defense, like it's never, I don't know. It's such a I hate it.
Like I would say probably the past month and a half, I have never had an issue with the Tangled on defense recently. It's just I don't know what it is. Maybe it's just me. I mean, I'm in Diamond 3 or something like that, or Diamond. I forget which way. I'm in the middle one of Diamond, but
so fun fact. Death Seed does really well against Tangled everywhere.
Most of the time, I'm either using Unlimited or Infinity Watch on him, and it tends to be a generally easy match. So I'm like, I really haven't had issues with it. But I'm also not going against 1.2 million teams either.
So when you get up to the 1.2 area in Crucible, it can be you've got a level of RNG there. It can go south, but Death Seed can still punch into them extremely effectively. It's not going to be the most efficient battle, but you can win the match depending on. Like I said, like it's similar to you go against anything with Dorm, and then Dorm randomly just decides, or you go against anything with Darkhold, and Heartless just randomly decides that he's going to eliminate the one character that can't be eliminated for this counter to work. Like, damn you, Heartless!
So
anyway,
coincidence?
Yeah. Appropriately named.
Not.
Yeah.
my number 3 team is actually Death Seed. So I think the way just like it's again it's just like with all the extra pings, all the control the team has, the speed generation, the everything. Like I can sim those raids and I don't because I enjoy just going through it and especially how much trouble I was having with the mutant raids before, to go back in there and kind of give like a little FU to the old lanes where I'm like sometimes I'm just like I'm gonna just I absolutely just destroy those nodes just from all that pent up hatred from suffering through them for so long.
It's the most complete raid team thus far, and it's not even close.
I mean, let's just hope that holds up. I mean, I think we all thought Web Warriors were a super complete web raid team as well. Like,
I mean, Reaver is a lot of fun, and any more Reaver they can also be. They can be interesting.
Yeah, yeah. Well, I mean, I think
never
I
thought
think
of
they're
Warriors.
I think they're gonna last longer than most raid teams, and specifically because of the Magneto ult turn 1 every single time that he
Yep.
gets to start that match. Every match ready to ult is that's super convenient. That I mean that by itself is going to make every match more doable. Being able to blind everybody and sort of keep it moving.
When Doom comes out, the first note of the mutants will be an entire Infinity Watch. So like 3
Well.
Adam Warlocks, and everyone has immunity. So
Adam Warlock.
All right, Bear. What
Don't give him
about
any
you?
ideas.
You know, I'm a '90s kid. I gotta go with the Unlimited X-Men for me. Every time Gambit, throws that card, I can hear his accent, and I just love like he's kind of like a bully. You pick on one of my guys, I'm gonna pick on you.
Yeah.
You got giving trauma right away, ability block, Sunfire. If you play it right, you can hit twice, really big.
Yeah.
Just one of my. I think it's because of the speed factor, but I just love him.
Yeah. Yeah, no, Gambit is a really, really well-made tune. Probably, boy, as far as, if you take away the legendary characters, is Gambit the best character release of the year? I mean, obviously it was the most controversial because that was the first time we saw those massive, those multiple, wasn't it $150 pack or something? Like he was an ugly release.
I think he was the first $100 pack, right? He was the first $100 one. I thought.
I don't know why I thought it was more than 100 for some reason. I just remember just being super disgusted and buying it.
Weaver, but I think Gambit is a close two.
The Weaver, okay, yeah, that's the Weaver. That makes sense. All right, so I love it. Unlimited, they're definitely fun to play with. It's another team. I always am confused, watching people put them on defense, and I get, the people are doing this turtle method, but why would you not play with the teams that are most fun to play with? I just can't wrap my head around that. Like when I see people putting Tangled on defense, and I see people putting Unlimited on defense. It's literally the two most fun teams to use in Crucible, and you don't get to use them. I don't know why people do it.
I mean, I put Tangled and Unlimited on defense, but I also love playing my Darkhold.
Yeah. Okay. Fair.
So I just use Darkhold on offense and Deathseed and Gamma.
The Pathfinder. What about you? Most fun team to play with?
Oh man, so I'm gonna go with a different choice because all my priority choices have already been taken. So I'm gonna go with my boy Hulk and the Gamma team. I just love the Hulk being good because that just gives me a lot of joy. He was my first character that I took to 7 Red Star, so and that was before his whole rework.
Yeah.
But now that we have Red Hulk, Abomination, Brawn, I just love seeing the team immediately go from like 0 health to full health after they take a turn. Like, oh, you thought we were dead? Nope, we're not dead. We're just getting started.
Yeah, absolutely. The Gamma's a lot of fun, and seeing Hulk finally be good feels good. I was watching who was I watching? I was watching Purple Sticky do a Crucible battle, and he goes, he was so successful. He was able to cut through Red Hulk, and then he's sitting there and he goes, "Oh my God, I'm gonna get stuck behind this Hulk," and Hulk just started eating him up, and it was so satisfying. I mean, not just watching him lose, but it was so satisfying, like watching Hulk put in the work, like just saying, "Hulk smash! Get off my grass!" It was wonderful.
I love it. Every time he taunts and just heals himself,
yeah,
and then he hits you in the face for like 350k. It's like, oh, this is just how it's supposed to be.
Yeah, and then I want to get back to Bear real quick because I think we only did your top one. Did you do what are your other two that you love?
Okay, my second one is a hybrid. It's the Eternals plus Black Bolt, Scarlet Witch, and Minerva.
What?
It's weird, but every time in War or Cosmic Crucible, every time you see a hero as Guardians. And now that I've got Cersei and Icarus up to 7 red stars, I mean, the game's over right away because you get the burp from Black Bolt, and if you don't kill him, like you got a Thor that's 7 red stars, then you got Scarlet Witch throwing out massive damage, and then you got Steel of Health from Minerva. It's weird, but it's one of my favorite teams to play with.
That's awesome. That you actually just you so you super shocked me, thus my giant what. But I like that's it's the best thing, it's the best answer that I've heard, because I always say the only way you're going to have fun playing the correct way to play the game is if you're having fun, and that you found a random ass team that makes you happy is literally the best possible scenario of this game. I mean, and you know, that's a lot of people talk about it. You know, they want the ability to sort of pick and choose and put together their own teams, and you found a way to do that with a team that works for you, and that's fantastic, man. Like, that's dope.
Well, you know, in Crucible, I mean, you got to get those, you know, fastest victory points or whatever you call them. And I find, you know, now that I'm up in Diamond 3, you've basically got to one-shot them on your first turn, or you're going to get stuck behind it. And especially if Valkyrie does that buff flip. Yeah. I mean, I just like it. It's weird. I know it's going to come off weird, but it's one of my favorites.
Okay. And what rounds out your top 3?
Young Avengers.
Amen.
And a ton of everywhere. Yeah. And it's one of the weird things. I pulled 7 red stars on early in the game was Captain Marvel and Miss Marvel. So I used to use them back to back early before Squirrel Girl and Echo and Bishop. So yeah, it's one of my favorites.
Yeah. Amen. All right, so Pathfinder Gaming. So what's rounding out your top 3? So number 1, remind me again, what do we go with?
Well, we went with the Gamma team.
Gamma, yeah,
for number 1.
So Gamma's number 1. What's your number 2?
So I'm gonna go with the newest team. I have been greatly enjoying playing with Rebirth, and mine is only 700k. But the fact that they get through Doom 3.5 Node 1 and 2 at that low a level, I just love the fact that Captain America is constantly taunting. Yeah. And when he taunts, Peggy gets the safeguard, so where nothing can be removed from Cap again. And then Agent Venom just comes in and just slaps a fool, and it's just glory. It's glorious.
Slaps Agent Venom kills people. Oh my god, he hits. Is his special, is that the most powerful special in the game, do we think, from total damage output?
It does so much damage.
Like, it is ridiculous.
Single target damage, I think it's the most damage in the game for sure.
Yeah, I think it has to be, right?
In the game, and it's 1,000% piercing.
Yeah, because so if this character has 3 or more Rebirth allies, so that's not raid effective, right? So this is 1, 2, 3, 4, so 4 turn attack at 250% damage piercing, and his damage numbers are bonkers. And he like top 20 damage.
He's top 2 in damage.
Oh god.
In raids, he's number 1 by a country mile.
Yeah. That's bonkers. That's
not
bonkers.
By a country mile, by several country miles.
Yeah.
So if you allow him to take a turn, he's going to kill somebody.
Yeah.
I love it.
Yeah. So which is sort of talks, you know, that was something we were sort of discussing before we started the stream, the idea of, you know, how does this team fit outside of raids? And I think Agent Venom in particular. Now, the one thing that Agent Venom doesn't have going for him is speed. And, you in raids, of course, you've got the buff from US Agent where deflects are happening, and that's giving the team speed. But Agent Venom is a little slow. So outside of raids, how can you utilize that power? Just something for everybody to think about. So I look at it, and you all had some amazing answers. My favorite team to play with for a long time now has been Young Avengers. I just think they're the most fun team to play with in the game. I mean, they've got amazing synergy. I get so happy when I do Miss Marvel's ult. Like, watching her just slap the shit out of everybody, I find so thoroughly entertaining. I can't. It's so difficult to describe, like, how happy it makes me feel when this little teenage girl just slaps the shit out of everybody on the other team. It makes me so happy.
America Chavez is special. Gives me great joy every time I use it.
Agent Venom is about to give her a run for the money with that damage.
Well,
that's fine.
I always like to save, like, I sort of hold that special. I love to just hold it until I can hit somebody with defense down, because I'm always just like, can I get to 2 mil? Like, will this be over 2 mil? Will it crit? Like, what's gonna happen here? This is gonna make me so happy.
I think Agent Venom special is gonna be the first attack to do more than 2 mil damage.
Oh,
70% crit damage with 70% crit chance on that.
Well, so not for nothing, like the team y'all were talking about earlier, Death Seed, that ult from Archangel, I feel like it's hit. I feel like I've seen it hit 2 mil.
Do you guys remember when? Do you guys remember when Mobile Gamer used to like slow it to 1x speed on long shot just to see if he would do 1 million? Like, how far we've come from that.
Yeah. Oh, well, so I don't remember the game mode. What was the game mode? There was it was one of the Dark Dimensions that you could wind up your carnage. Like, you could have all of.
Oh yeah.
Oh my God, I would just sit there and put debuff after debuff. I did the match for like an hour and a half just to stack as many debuffs as possible to do that special. And it broke it. Like, it didn't even give you, it was like, it said like -0. Like, it gave me the screwiest number I've ever seen. So it was like 7 billion damage or something.
For carnage to stop working.
Yeah.
It's like on the calculator. It's like 1.57 e to the 77.
It was like a little arrow with like a 340 to 1 million to the 346 power.
It took a long time to do it, though. I swear, it was like I had to have done that match for like an hour before. Or no, it was tower. It was the very first tower.
The entire time. It was tower against the two Hellas, a Loki, a Bishop.
I feel like Mordo was part of it.
And Mordo. Yeah.
But I don't know. It was
Mordo and Bishop.
It was a good time. It was the
entire time you were getting that going until you finally got to do that, and then you just like squealed with excitement when you hit that Carnage special.
Oh, it was so nice. It was so nice. That was such a good feeling. All right, guys. Well, so we are just about out of time. So we didn't get an opportunity to get to our second topic, so we'll save that for another time. But again, I just want to give a very, very special thank you to Athame, a very special thank you to Bear, Pathfinder Gaming. Rich can go play in traffic, but everybody else, thank you so much for being here. Like, you guys are amazing. And for those of you watching at home, I hope you like the show. Don't forget to like and subscribe, and join us next week when we find a way to end world hunger. Peace and love, everybody. How do I end this? Oh my God, I'm such a pro. There we go. I'm the best. Best video ever.
Sam just didn't like me scratching my head when Ben made a comment. I was doing this. Sam gets just like, this is going on YouTube.